Ladies and gentlemen, Beast of the East, Jonathan Pariente, Mouth of the South, John Schiavone. This is a late edition of Downtown Sports. This is where sports come home.
Not that late. I mean,
Well,
we're
it's one
recording it
o'clock. One
late.
o'clock. It's almost 1 in the morning late. But what do I care, right? Who cares, right?
I
We're
mean,
here.
yeah, I am here. I mean, I just got done with the beginnings of the dynasty draft with the professional fanatics. We have to go beat them in their own game.
Well, we made a
We
big
have to go
impact
beat.
on the very first pick, getting Jamar Chase, which is a very nice first addition. As
Yes,
for all those who don't know, this group, this team that we're doing is a very unique one. These players that we're going to draft are not just this year's players, they're going to be for the long term,
3 years.
the next 3 years ahead. And we're trying to build teams in win now mode. We're trying to win now. We're trying to build players that are not only going to win us games now, but are going to be still there for us for the next 3 years down the line. You can check all that out and more. Always our friends at the Professional Fanatics podcast. Always great work that those guys do for us as what we do for them. So, one game already through the conference finals. Already
Yep.
off to an amazing start. We'll get to the game that took place last night, but we have to go to the game that just wrapped up tonight.
You see why I didn't want this? You see why I didn't want this team?
Well,
We were
I
all everyone is all like, "Oh, this is going to be so easy. Oh, it's going to be a
well,
walk in the park.
it was harder
Oh,
than
just
it definitely
beat
started off
them."
slow. It definitely started off slow if you're the Knicks. I mean, I was coming home. Knicks were down 22 with about 7:40 to go, and I was saying to
Yep.
myself,
Yep.
well, the rust was evident. I mean, I didn't expect we were going to come out flying. I mean, you want rest going into the playoffs. You want rest, of course. You
Yep.
want to be
Yes, you
able to take
do.
as much
Of
time as
course
you
you
need,
do.
but the rest does take its toll. You come out of the gate flat, you don't execute early, and the Knicks fell behind early. Now, they
Yes, they
had a good
did.
first quarter, but then they fell behind in the second, only by two at half, but then the third quarter, they completely fell. The Cavs were doing the hack of Mitch strategy because even when the Knicks were down 13 and Mitch was only maybe hitting about 2, 3 free throws during that entire portion. So the Knicks were down. The Knicks were down about 16 going into the fourth, and I was saying to myself, well, I mean, we were winning games. I mean, we were bound to lose one eventually after a while, but give the Knicks credit. Jalen Brunson, after 7:44 in the game, Jalen Brunson completely took over. You got some clutch points from Landry Shamet. Bridges hit a big three late. You started to see even OG, who had a subpar start, he only had 3 points for almost the whole game. And then once you get into overtime, OG started hitting some shots, hit a couple free throws that were huge to win the game. And the Knicks came back and beat the Cavs 115 to 104. Despite a 29-point performance from Donovan Mitchell, that basically gets thrown away.
Yep.
The whole overtime, basically, if you're the Cavs, was all James Harden. Where was Donovan Mitchell? Why was Donovan Mitchell basically taking a back seat to the old lion, James Harden? We
Because that's
talked.
why they got John. That's why they got James Harden.
Yeah. And then you see again James Harden doing exactly the James Harden things that he does. Playoff games, where's James Harden? When you need to win
Uh,
when you had this game won, James Harden, again, even though you won game seven, James Harden was not there. 9 points. You needed James Harden in this game. Where was James Harden?
I mean, he only got you there.
No, he
I
got you
mean,
there.
he only.
That's
Yeah.
always what James Harden is. He gets you there.
Well, where was Spider to finish it off? Where was the
Yeah, Spider
team's
had no
leader?
points had no points in overtime. That's
Yeah,
what
where's the team's freaking leader? I mean,
the Cavs
eventually,
scored
yeah,
3 points the entire 5 minute overtime.
yeah,
Okay, it was a
because
late three by Max Strus. That was all they did. They were just bricking shots. Now, to be fair, the Knicks were bricking threes almost the entire game.
yes, they
They were
were,
they only
and
hit four threes for like three and a half quarters. Knicks only had four
the Knicks
threes.
were lucky to get out of this game.
Very much so. Yes, because the Cavs choked. The Cavs collapsed. The Cavs basically. You see now the fatigue starting to show. Well, that's what happens when you
You
play
see
two
the
series going
reason,
7 games.
you see the reason why everybody wanted the Cavs in the first place. Because, the Cavaliers are known for giving it away in the big spots. But
Hmm.
here's the thing. The Cavaliers, other than the Knicks, have the most talented roster in the Eastern
They
Conference,
do.
bar none.
They do.
It's just nobody ever really takes the Cavaliers seriously because this is what the Cavaliers do. They go out there, put a ton of points on the board, and then they act as if the game is over before the
Yeah.
clock runs out.
And then they started to make those mistakes again when up 22. Some, couple bad pass turnovers there, throw a ball out of bounds there, a couple offensive fouls there.
It's all right. We're up 22. It's all right. We're
Yeah.
still up 15. It's
Well,
all right. We're still up 12.
this is always a trap that
Then you're
teams
up
fall into when you're
10.
up like this.
Then you're up 8. Then you're up 6. But that's the thing with this Knick team. And they showed you last year in series against Detroit and in,
Boston and against Boston as well.
Boston. They could be down by 16, 20 points.
Yeah.
Once
Because
it's
the Knicks
7
keep playing,
minutes
because we keep
left
playing.
in the fourth quarter, look out.
Yes.
If you are not up by 25 with 7 left to go, the game's not over.
Uh, Karl Anthony Towns didn't play his crispest game. Only had 13 points, but again, still utilizing that facilitator, him as the facilitator, and the Knicks were able to again just slowly, as the rest of the fourth quarter went down, they began to
But
pick
that's
apart the
what
Cavs
he needs to
team.
be. That's what they brought him in for. Now, is he the best player on the team? No. But did they bring him in for the offense to revolve around him? Yes, that's how the roster's built. You have to run the team how the roster's built.
Yes.
That's how Jalen Brunson is most effective. That's how Mikal Bridges is most effective. That's how guys like OG Anunoby, the guy you pay the most money to on this basketball team, could have a shit night and the team can still come back from 25 down and come out winning by 9 in overtime and hold the opposing team to just 3 points in a
Yes.
5-minute overtime. How do you
My
hold a Cavalier offense with Harden and Spider and Jared Allen and Mobley to 3 points in a
overtime.
5-minute overtime? That
Yeah.
should not
No, it should
happen.
not. No. Now, to also be fair, the Cavs did have some tough luck with some shots. Because they had the chance to put the game away a few times in the fourth quarter before the next comeback even happened. A couple of tough missed threes, including one before the end of regulation by Sam Merrill. A couple of threes kind of went in and out on them a little bit. But yeah, it was very clear the Cavs were tiring. We all saw it as the Knicks were picking up momentum. You could see the Cavs level was dropping. And then you saw the Knicks defense finally coming into its own. Then you started seeing Bridges and all the Knicks going after Harden. Once you see Harden in foul trouble, the Knicks went right after Harden to close out the fourth and into the overtime as well. They kept attacking Harden because
Yep.
he can't play defense. That's his vulnerability spot.
And not even just that he can't play defense, it's that at this point in his career, you can't ask him to cover 2-on-1s on his own.
No, he can't. Well, he can't do it anymore. Harden's 36 years old. He's 36 now. Age catches
You can't
up to you.
ask
I
him,
don't.
you can't ask him to cover 2-on-1s on his own.
No.
And
No.
Donovan Mitchell is the best defender on this team. And where was he to cover James Harden's back?
Yeah. I think he started to take some possessions off. He started to take a few possessions off. He kind of just disappeared into the shadows, and you were basically just asking everybody else, "Okay, Strusy, hit me a three right there. Okay, Sam, hit me a three right there. Okay, Harden,
Or
hit me a
were
three
you
right
just
there."
waiting on old man Harden to get the job done?
Yeah, well, but
If
that's the
that's
problem.
what
This is
your
the problem with
formula,
Cleveland, and that's Cleveland's problem.
or is
Your
that
star has to
Spider's
take over the
problem?
game. Your star,
Or is
your
that
captain, your leader has to take over the game, and Spider didn't do it. I'm sorry, he
Or
didn't do it.
is that why James Harden felt that he had to go do it because Spider was just a no-show. Is
Well,
that what you saw when you were watching that overtime?
well, yes, and this is again, but then of course you see why Jalen Brunson, when he can take over a game, you let him take over the game. When
Yes,
you give him the
exactly.
space, you give him the time, you give him the shots, and Brunson's hitting them.
Exactly. And
That
then and then on top of that, if you let Cat facilitate and give Brunson shots, oh man.
yeah,
So if Brunson doesn't even have to work to get his own shot, holy shit.
yeah, and that's what ball movement does. That's what ball movement can do. And the Knicks have been doing this since the Hawks series. It's been working, it's been consistent, and it hasn't wavered at all.
And this is what they should have been doing
And the Knicks
all
finally have a shooting coach, which they've never had in years, to really ensure that their shots fall, something they did
year,
not have.
all,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
all year. This is
So,
what should have been happening.
yeah. So
This was
now,
the Nick offense we've been waiting for. This is the type of offense that we've been waiting for since Karl Anthony Towns became a Knick, since Bridges got on the team. OG was here and Brunson was here. This is what we've been waiting for.
yes. And now, if you're the Knicks, you found a way to win a game that you didn't. That honestly, I didn't think they were going to win in the first game of that series. Now you got to take game two of the Garden, really put the pressure on Cleveland. Maybe even you might have even broken their spirit already by game one already. This comeback might have
Well,
already broken their morale.
well, let's see, because here's the thing. Cleveland has defended their home turf
Yes, they have. They have.
better
They've lost
than
one game at home. They've lost once at home.
the
Once.
only team that, yeah, they're the only team that has defended their home turf that well, other than,
The
well,
Knicks.
I would say OKC, but they just lost their first game at
Okay.
home to the
Well, that was
San
OKC's first
Antonio
loss in the
Spurs.
entire playoff. That's their first playoff loss this year. Crazy
That's
when you can
right.
believe it.
But the Knicks have lost twice at home this postseason, no? Well, no, they
Uh,
lost twice this postseason. They lost
yeah,
once at home.
yes, and then they
And
lost the one in
OKC,
Atlanta. Then they lost the one in Atlanta.
yeah,
Correct.
and OKC has now lost their first game at
Yep.
home,
Yep.
and it was to the San Antonio Spurs, and it
Yep.
was in quite embarrassing fashion. In
Yep.
my opinion, they were dominated from pillar to
Oh,
post.
they
They got their asses
OKC just
handed
looked.
to them.
OKC looked scared out there. I was watching most of that game. OKC looked shocked. They looked like they had fear in their eyes. The shots that they were hitting throughout the entire playoffs was not working against Wembanyama. Wemby was literally everywhere. Everywhere when SGA was taking shots, he was right in the grill of Chet Holmgren, and even at chunks, Jalen Williams as well. Even with Jalen Williams back in the game. And honestly, OKC then started getting the calls around the end of the fourth, which is the only reason why this game went to overtime at all. And really, honestly, I don't think it should have ever gone to overtime. Credit the Spurs for still keeping their composure and finally outlasting the Thunder at the very end and beat them in double overtime. And
You
Wembanyama was a very
know,
big reason why.
definitely. And you know what? Ever since the USA versus France game, where Chet Holmgren kind of laid a little bit of a beating on Wembanyama.
Oh, he took that personally. He took that very personally. And not only that, I mean, the same time SGA was awarded his second MVP before this game started, and you could tell Wemby was not going to take that sitting down.
Nope.
He's even said himself, "I want to win those awards. I want to start winning those awards."
Well, you got to earn them.
All right, well, game one was maybe one good first step. Now, if the Spurs take game two in OKC, could we be saying an early sayonara to the Thunder before this series really even begun?
Yeah,
So you think
because
it's
if you
over?
lose,
You think it's over
if
after
if they
if the
lose
Spurs win
two,
tomorrow?
yeah, if they lose two in a row on their home floor, no way, no
Mm.
way, no way.
Well, this puts the Thunder in quite a precarious spot. I'm not going to lie about it. And obviously SGA has to do a lot more. It's not typical to see SGA get off to a start where he has 4 points in the first half. And then, yeah, he finally started getting the points in the second half. Mind you, had to earn a few shots there. Didn't, but Wembanyama was just a nightmare for SGA and for the entire Thunder team for the entire game.
Chet
When,
needs to go play big boy basketball against Wemby.
well, I mean, he had a block on him to have the game go
He
to double overtime.
has to go out there and play better.
Yeah, well, 8 points is
That
not going to cut
has
it from
to
Chet Holmgren.
no.
That's just not going to cut it.
He's got to get more blocks on Wemby. He's got to go out there and replicate what he did in Team USA versus France.
He has to
Got
play
to
with more
go out
viciousness and
there.
intensity. That's what he's
Yeah,
lacking.
he's got to go out there and he has to take it personally what Wembanyama's been doing to him.
Hmm.
He has to go out there and be the guy that OKC brought on that team.
Or has he maybe gotten too much of the I'm going to draw the fouls like SGA does, and I'm going to get into, you know, flop mode.
Oh, the squire of the round table, Sir
Oh,
Chet Flopgren.
yes. Well, I mean, because there were
with
some
Sir
moments that he
Gilgius
was doing that.
with Sir Gilgius Fallopius and his squire Chet Flopgren.
Mm.
That's not gonna cut it. Because
Well,
there's no flops in San Antonio. They're not flopping.
no. What you're getting from San
They're not
Antonio is a very
flopping.
well-rounded. What you're getting from San Antonio is a well-rounded attack. And yeah, Wembanyama will be the key facilitator of the whole offense, scoring
And you're
41
getting elbows to the
points.
throat. Ask Nas Reed.
Mm-hmm.
You're
And then, of
getting
course,
elbows to the throat with no suspensions.
and then you have the rest of the young youth on this team, Castle, Vassell, and Dylan Harper. All of them have been coming up with a flurry of key plays, steals, big points. It will not surprise me, and people have already talked about it. Some have already been saying, well, the West is miles above the East right now when you look at the Spurs, just the Spurs and the Thunder alone. And everybody's already thinking, well,
That's
the
not
East
true.
has no chance. The East has no chance. The Thunder and Spurs are
That's not
too
true.
good.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, no. Look, the Knicks have proven they can hang with the Spurs. They've proven it all year. And yeah, they hung with the Thunder too. Okay? The Thunder, yeah. If one of those two games went a little more the Knicks' way, they would have
They can
won. They would have.
hang with the Thunder. They've beaten the Spurs.
The Spurs, I know they've
I don't
beaten
think the
them.
Spurs are ready for the Knicks.
Well,
The Thunder, that's going to be a series.
yeah. Well, right now,
Do
the
you know what,
Thunder have
though?
to get themselves out of this mess that they're in and take game two.
True. But do you know what, though? Every Knicks fan is looking to the NBA Finals like it's already a
Well,
predetermined thing.
well,
It's not.
no, no. But the momentum the Knicks have riding with them right now and the way they've continued to still play and the way they've been able to win the games that they have, and they've had to win these games over this streak in a variety of different ways. Yeah, the Sixers, you blew them away easily. Okay. You had to scrape by a few games against the Hawks. Okay, in this one, your mettle was tested. You were 9 days off with rest, and it was clear the Knicks were just not were just basically flat. And they still came back and won the game.
Yeah, that's
The
correct.
Spurs give them even
But,
more credit. They won the game without De'Aaron Fox.
yeah,
So there
without
you
their
have it.
veteran with playoff experience
Yeah.
who
But it
knows
didn't
what to
matter to
do in
them. All
these
Wembanyama had to
situations.
do was take over the game, and that's it. And that's going to be a key point. Now, I would assume Fox will be back in the lineup for game two. I would like to believe he'll be back in there. But even if he's not, I think the Spurs will still be in good shape. If they can basically execute like they did in game one and play the lockdown D and just basically, I think the key to beating SGA is put two people on him. Not just Wemby, but get like another guy on him and really just frustrate him.
Well, you got to set hard picks if you're OKC, and you have to be willing to let Chet foul out. If he's only going to score 8 points, then that big bodied son of a bitch needs to start setting
Yeah.
hard picks, committing hard fouls, knocking Wemby to the ground. Uh, Hartenstein needs to go out there and do the same thing.
Yeah.
You need to see players out there starting to put body on body to Wembanyama and start testing his mettle.
Sad thing,
That's what
the
you
only
have to
guy that was
do.
really doing that was the little bald guy, Alex Caruso. That was the only guy that was really out there giving it everything he had out there.
Chat, hey chat, this is a message from us to you. We know you could do this. We've seen you do it to him before. I don't know what it is, but now you have to go defend an NBA title.
Look,
Go
the
out
Thunder are a
there,
young team. This is
throw elbows.
These Thunder
Joel
players are
Embiid
young.
grabbed Mitchell Robinson's ankle when he went up for a rebound and slammed him to the floor, and nobody said a damn word to him.
Yeah.
I mean, do whatever you got. Grab ankles, throw elbows. Wimbayama elbowed Nas Reed in the neck. He didn't get suspended. He didn't get called for a flagrant. Nothing happened.
He got called for a flagrant too. He got thrown out of the game for that elbow to Reed. He got thrown
Yeah,
out.
he did. He did.
Yeah, but for that game, yes.
But yeah, he did. But Wembanyama was half injured anyway. He needed time off, so it was
Okay.
okay.
And he got concussed in the Timberwolves game. He got concussed
Yes,
for one game. Remember? Oh, sorry, that was
yeah,
that was the Timberwolves series. That was Timberwolves.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. Wasn't
No,
that was Portland? No,
Portland. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
that
Portland.
was the
That's the one.
Portland series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
You
got
see what
concussed in that
Portland
series.
did to him? But you see how Portland did him? You need to start taking some notes from Portland
Without a doubt.
and from what Minnesota did.
Mm. Yeah.
Because
Physical teams
because
are what Wembanyama still has to deal with. He has to prove he can handle physicality a little bit more.
if not, then maybe Isaiah Hartenstein, maybe Isaiah Hartenstein should start, and you should let a big boy, go out there and do
Uh,
big man work.
the crazy part is that's exactly what the Thunder have typically done. They would start out Chet and they start Hartenstein. They put them both out there. They've started them. That's typically what the Thunder do. And then you have Dort to come off the bench. He can be a guy that, Dort doesn't care injuring somebody. He'll certainly go out there and play physical. That's how Dort plays. And
Well,
then you
then
have Caruso, and then you have Case and Wallace. You have the rest of that bench that can play the same way.
whoever is too scared to go out there and not put body on Wembenyama, your ass is on the bench.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't care if you're the point guard to the center. If you're 6'2", get your ass out there and throw bodies with that 7-foot monster.
yeah, Caruso's been the only one doing that, and he's the only reason why the Thunder even had a chance in this game. Because Caruso's not really a point scorer, yet he went off for 30 points. I mean, that's just how, it's crazy that it had to get to that point. But anyway, it is what it is right now if you're the Thunder. You're down 1-0. You lost a playoff game at home, which is something the Thunder don't typically ever do. So now the series is now in the Spurs' hands. If the Spurs steal game 2, I mean, forget it. I don't think the Thunder are going to have a chance now. And then, of course, good luck playing on San Antonio's turf. It's very hard to win on San Antonio's turf. I don't care what team you are. I don't care if you're the Thunder.
That's why I said I said it before. I told you earlier in the show. If OKC wins game 2, if OKC loses game 2, this series is not going to go to OKC.
It's over. You already said it's over. Well, we're going to find all that out soon. Game 2 will be tomorrow night.
But
OKC
Knicks
San
fans,
Antonio. Yes.
I need you all to pay attention to me and pay attention to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you saw the Knicks come back and win in pretty dramatic fashion
Yes.
and then blow Cleveland away
Mm-hmm.
in that overtime, because I would consider that a blowout if I
Well,
was a Knicks fan.
11. Yeah, I mean, they won by 11. Yes, it was out of hand
But
at
to
that
come
point.
back from that many points down, bring it to overtime, and then win by 11 in overtime with Cleveland only scoring 3 points,
Yes.
that's a blowout,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Well, okay. Okay.
relative to where they were in the game
Yeah.
with about 7 minutes left to go.
Well, I will expect the Knicks now for game 2 are not going to come out flat-footed like they did today.
They better not.
No, they're going to come. They have to come out And now
Because
look,
I
now they're going to
guarantee
play.
you, Cleveland won't.
Yeah.
Cleveland's not going to come out flat.
Now the rest of this series is just like the last round. Everybody's playing every other day until you get to keep between game 6 and 7.
That's right.
Yeah. The finals will go back to the old format from the first round. You'll play, you'll have the 2 days off to travel. So that will return for the NBA finals, just so you know. But right now, the conference finals is what we're looking at right now. And yeah, Cleveland's been playing on a playing every other day since the start of these playoffs. They haven't had more than a day off. So they
So
have
guess what?
literally had to
You know what
play.
though?
Yeah. And it's going to take its toll. I mean, the Knicks, you saw what
But they're
happened when the
used
Knicks
to it
had,
though.
huh?
But they're used to it though. At this point, they're used
Okay.
to it.
Okay, well, we thought the Knicks were used to that the previous couple of years when they have to squeak out series in 6 games or maybe even 7 here and there. And then by the next round, the Knicks were exhausted. So now the Knicks have learned to manage that. The Knicks now have finally learned to put opponents away early and get that rest, get themselves ready. And that rest came in handy to finish out game 1. The Knicks
That was
clearly found their
one
stride
series.
at the end.
You're acting as if the Knicks just magically learned this and
No,
blew
no,
through their
no.
opponents. No, no.
Well,
It's
it's
one
by playing
series
together for a
against
number of years.
a team that honestly really had no business beating Boston the way they did. Boston just fell apart. That wasn't Philly beating Boston. That was more Boston. It's like the pumpkin, the carriage turned into a
Boston
pumpkin.
beat themselves. Boston ended up beating themselves.
Yep.
They beat themselves. You know, Jason Tatum was hurt. Jaylen Brown could only do so much, and Jaylen Brown is still mad. He's still sitting at home and voicing his
Stay mad, bro.
frustrations.
Stay mad, bro. Stay mad. It's all a part of the process. Just like you know, getting your third coach and your second GM fired. It's
Well,
all a part of the process.
well, if he keeps calling out Stephen A. Smith and etc., you don't think Boston's higher ups are not watching this and maybe they start to think about, what do we do with Jaylen Brown? Do we want to? Do you think
Bye
he
bye.
sticks around? Oh, so you think his time? So you think his days on the Celtics are numbered?
I mean, how long did the Celtics put up with Kyrie Irving
Yeah. Well, here's
when
here's a
when
different
he turned?
Kyrie Irving's a different breed here. Kyrie Irving's a different breed. Okay. Kyrie Irving with the whole Earth is flat and I want to take games off because I want to take a day off today. I
You
just
know
don't want
what
to play
though?
today.
I hate to say it this way though. Kyrie Irving is a lot more of an articulate and educated sounding human being than Jaylen Brown. That's the
Mm.
truth. Like I've heard both of them speak in interviews. Kyrie Irving is a much more eloquent human being when he's
Okay.
talking.
Brunson's an eloquent guy too.
He is.
Brunson just keeps it very nice and real with everybody, and that's fine. You know.
Floppin' Brunson. Good old Floppin' Brunson. With King James and the Knights of the Flop table. King Flop
If
and the
Brunson would
Knights of the
flop, if we
Flop
want to call
table.
Jalen flopping Brunson,
He is
he'd be get
flopping Brunson.
he would be getting a lot. He should be getting more fouls called in his favor, which a lot of the time he doesn't.
I know, but he still keeps flopping.
One of those buckets
That's
that he
why
had
he
to,
hasn't been knighted yet.
one of
He
those
hasn't been
ridiculous
knighted
shots
yet.
that he had to make off the side of the off the backboard and in. And he was immediately, the minute he made that shot, Brunson was calling, why was there no foul? Brunson wanted a foul right there.
Yeah.
And maybe he was right because it did look like Harden knocked him down.
Well, I mean, he
And
was
Harden
getting
didn't flop
flopped.
on Brunson's offensive foul late.
Oh,
Clearly looked like Harden
that
took a
is
cheap flop.
no. Harden. Sorry. That is yeah. King flop. King James is king flop. Harden is the flop in the lake.
Hmm.
He is the original flop.
Yeah.
He is the inventor. He is the creator of the flop. He invented the flop hundreds of years ago when uh when referees started blowing whistles when NBA players accidentally brushed hands upon each other.
Or breathed on them.
Then came the flop in the lake, the ancient bearded flop. That's it. He's the bearded flop. The ancient bearded flop.
Oh, we're gonna find flop for every one of these guys.
Yes, we're gonna find different names for all of these
Hmm.
people until the refs stop calling this shit. It's not the player's fault. Listen, if you're an NBA player, you don't take advantage of this shit, you're stupid.
Yeah, well, that's what exactly these guys are doing. They're taking advantage of the system. They're taking advantage of
As they
what's happening.
should.
Yeah.
As they should. So until then, King Flop and the Knights of the Flopping Table will dominate the world of basketball until the referees decide to stop blowingeth their whistles.
And here I thought the NBA had done something about judging flops and giving a violation for people that flop. I thought the NBA had that in place just recently, and I guess they went away from that. I guess they went
Oh
away. Well, I hope
no.
not. I get a feeling the NBA is going to be looking more at how these calls are made in the offseason. I think don't be surprised if the NBA makes some changes next year with how flopping is called and maybe how they can tell it's embellishment. They'll be able to kind
King
of
Flop, the bearded Flop, Sir Gilgius Floppius Flop and his faithful squire Chet Flopgren, Floppin Brunson, and the rest of the crew. I'm sure we will find more names soon as we go through the rest of these playoffs.
yes. Well,
And
ladies.
Tyrese Flopperton will
Oh
make
God.
his return to the NBA next season. Sir Tyrese Flopperton will make
Hmm.
his return to the Indiana Pacers, and Pascal Saflopum
Does Tyrese and
will
do
be
Tyrese
there.
and Siakam flop that much?
Oh, they do.
I don't know about Siakam. I'm a little iffy on Siakam.
Pascal Saflop, Pascal Saflopum, Sir Pascal
Uh,
Saflopum, and Tyrese Flopperton. Come on,
okay.
we saw it.
I
We
will
saw
just
it in the Knicks Pacers
I
series.
will leave I will just leave it at that. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the conference
We have
finals.
like two more nights of the. We have two more nights of the flop table to crown. Perhaps we will find them as we watch these two series.
Well, if one game was only just a precursor to how exciting this conference finals has already become, and just a game each, how's the rest of this going to go? Obviously, we'll find
Tune
out.
in, tune in the next episode of Downtown Sports to see if every player in the NBA starts flopping on the ground like a fish.
We will find that out. All right. But that's going to do it for this edition, Downtown Sports Tonight. I want to thank Chris DeLarge. I want to thank Tony Mainville. As always, I want to thank our friends also at the Professional Fanatics podcast. You can listen to Downtown Sports. We're on 24 different platforms. We're on Spotify for Creators, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Bullhorn, Podbay, Listen Notes, Podcast Addict, Verbalcaster.fm, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Podvine, Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, and YouTube. Episodes, rants, digital, market battle, specials every week. We are Downtown Sports, and we are where sports come home.
King Flop has told us to set up the trebuchets to invade the NFL for the fake they don't like when the NFL flops. The
Hmm.
NFL flops you see sometimes they're flopping.
Hmm. Well,
When the defensive linemen for the holding and they start flopping around.
yep.
The NBA King Flop of the NBA Flop
Hmm.
Nation has declared war on the NFL defensive linemen for flopping.
Well,
and the defense are flopping.
well changes
It's not good.
changes are being made as we speak right now in the NBA. Just for small stuff, the Mavericks fired Jason Kidd as per
Oh,
Masai Ujiri. They want a new coach. They want okay, good. They want a culture change. I get it. Okay, Masai Ujiri knows what he's doing, so I'm not gonna question him.
they're
The
gonna hire
Pelicans
somebody that
and
they're
the
gonna hire
Pelicans
somebody
hired
to
Jamal
teach them how
Mosley,
to flop.
and Jamal Mosley will now be coaching the Pelicans. Now, should be very interesting to see how he will deal with Zion. Going to be very curious how that goes down.
We're gonna see how well Zion learns how to flop. Zion's gonna be in flopping classes starting in 3 weeks. They're all gonna go to AEW's power plant wrestling school in Jacksonville. They're all gonna learn how to fly. No, I would seriously do this. I would send players to pro wrestling school to learn how to flop properly.
Yeah, take
I really
bumps,
would.
whatever you call it. Yeah, well, that's how you. Well, yeah, wrestlers have to sell moves.
Yes, that's right.
Soccer players do it all the time, right? They
Yeah,
always sell
soccer.
getting hurt. They
Yeah,
sell
they
getting
sell it.
knocked down,
They sell it. I mean,
and
hey,
and
they
nothing
flop.
and nothing
And
and nothing ever happens, right?
NFL players flop. You know, we see it. Like I said, King Flop has decided that the NFL floppers are not loyal. They must be invaded and taken over. They have
Hmm.
they have besmirched the flop kingdom.
Hmm.
So
Well,
we're gonna have a big problem
mhm.
come training camp time.
Yep.
It's not gonna be good.
June 11th, of course, will be the start of the FIFA World Cup. So please put that on your calendar. June 11th till July 19th, the FIFA World Cup returns.
So that means we gotta have
Yes,
a guest, don't
M
we?
MOB
That's
MOB.
right. MOB.
It's time we
Battle
call him back
Boyle.
again. It's
He's
time we
coming
bring him back
back, and
again.
I did communicate with him, and he's got a special segment planned for us within the
Well,
next 2 weeks.
then I think we better get him on. I look forward to that. But right now,
Right
Jonathan
after.
Perriente.
Hold on, wait a minute. Next week, we
Yes,
have
next
something
week
to
we have a
tell
guest as well. Yes, we
people.
do. We have a special guest, the new radio voice of the LA Clippers, Carlo Jimenez, will join us
Right.
for the first time on Downtown Sports, and we will hear his thoughts on the Clippers' offseason plans, where they're going to go from here, and maybe even get his take on the Western Conference in these playoffs so far in the NBA. We'll definitely be getting his take on that and so much more to come as well. His journey as well into making it into this business, I think, is a lot to listen to for that, 100%. But for now, Jonathan Pariente, Beast of the East, Mouth of the South, John Schiavone saying goodbye and good
We're out.
night.
We're out. Thanks for listening.